Good afternoon from sacred space at Titania's realm. It's 12:07 p.m. on the 15th of February 2024, and I can still sense this delicious, yummy love energy emanating from the Northern Hemisphere because now they're celebrating Valentine's Day. Anyway, I've had a very spiritual, yesterday was very spiritual and lovely. My friend Jojo, whom I know from many years of dancing at the casino and prior to that Irish Murphys, randomly popped by to visit me yesterday, even though she was in work uniform. I didn't even recognise her at first. And so that was delightful. And then in the afternoon, my little Charlie was having some romantic frottering of her own with a wild lorikeet. So there's two videos I posted up yesterday, having a bit of laugh at my Charlie's got more of a love life than I have, right? Am I right? But anyway, it was all very cute and delightful. And yeah, and then this morning I woke up. I often get messages from Spirit, either just in the twilight zone between waking and sleeping or just after I wake up. And I kept hearing this lyric, you are the prince and I am the princess. I was like, that song's familiar. I know that song. I'm not very good at musical linguistics. It's like I've got a learning disability. I pick up a melody, but I don't always recognise the song, or I might not know who the singer is, or I might not know the title. So I'm frantically Googling who is You Are the Princess, You Are the Prince and You Are the Princess. And I was a bit astonished and greatly amused because it came up as Love Story by Taylor Swift. So my little spirit guides, my mischievous Cupid Eros spiders are teasing me along with love energy, which is delightful, people, really delightful. So I played the song and I listened to the lyrics, and I had memories of my sweet darling man that plays beautifully to me in the club, who's unavailable because he's married. But we have this little interplay going, which is fun. We just have so much fun. And he was playing that but looking at me a month or so ago, and I was like, oh, that's cute. And I hadn't really listened to the lyrics properly until this morning. I read them. I actually read them, and I was like, oh, that's very cute. I'm sure he doesn't mean anything by it. It's probably just being sweet and romantic because he knows I'm a lonely older woman, lives on my own, and it's a bit sad and tragic, darling. So I'm sure there's nothing, there's no, I don't even know how to put it delicately. I'm sure there's no seediness behind it, is how I want to describe it as. And there is this pure sweetness between us, which is very delightful. So I was listening to the song and having memories of, him playing me this. Not playing it to me, he's playing it for the freaking club, the whole club, but kind of turns and looks at me, and it's very sweet. And so I was thinking about how on Friday night when they played Goo Goo Dolls, and again he just turned around and looked at me because he knows that's one of my favourite love songs. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet, So so this morning I was being stirred up by a spirit with this love story song from Taylor Swift, and I was like, oh, that's very sweet too. So the universe has a lot of fun at my expense in a way, teasing me along and hoping that I get with the program one day and realise whose love is real and whose intentions are authentic and who's honourable and who chooses me, right? So anyway, I'm an older woman now. It's actually a bit ridiculous. It's kind of a bit ridiculous. I sway between, Oh, that's so lovely too. Oh, get real, Tanya. Come on, get real. Get with the program. And but anyway, I've had a lovely morning having that happen, and my cleaning lady Rati was here, and she shared a lovely song called "Who Am I" by a singer. I've forgotten the name. It's already gone out on my head. Putri Adriani sings it with Alan Walker, called "Who Am I?" And that was a lovely melody too. So I said, all right, I'll add that to my Spotify list. And so, yeah, we're sort of sharing the love and the joy and the music with each other. And she asked me if I'm going dancing this weekend, this Friday, and I said yes, but I'll be dancing for Ramjet this Friday because they Alter Egos and Ramjet play alternate weeks. And but I always have such a great time dancing for Ramjet as well. And it doesn't matter which band plays, whoever plays, I always make a feast of it because, you know, why not? You're there, you might as well enjoy the wild dance and the music and the interactions, which are, as I say, are very loving and soul nourishing and just delightful. So I referred in my writing, because in my little journal writing, I referred to the alter egos as the magi musicians, sorry. And I've been thinking a lot lately about how some people are just magical. Like my psychiatrist, for example, you know, sometimes I look at him and think, if you were in a tarot deck, you'd be the magician, because he's just so, knows how to draw down energy and support me in a way when I'm all flubbering and kind of scattered and all over the place. He just gets to the point of the issue and, no, you did that because of this, Tanya, and you're quite right, by the way. And he's just so validating, but it's almost like someone that literally has a wand directing the energy, going, no, this is how it really is, and you are doing the right things, Tanya, and don't worry, kind of thing. So it's sweet. And then I have that with my musician friends in the bands who, again, they're magicians. They're bringing the energy literally through their instruments, the drums and the bass guitar and the guitars and you know, Nessie from Ramjet with her singing voice, and Paulie with his singing. He plays guitar as well. And they just bring all that magic and beauty and awe, and they just channel it literally through their bodies as musicians. And it's potent, it's magical, it's healing, it's delightful, it brings so much joy. And I'd like to think that in my small way I bring joy to people's lives with my strange ways and my crazy dancing and, you know, my crazy writings on Facebook and vocal media and my jewellery making. I feel like I'm also channeling that magic through me like a magician or a mage or a magi. So, yeah, I've been thinking a lot about magis and the power people have that they don't always know that they have and don't always know how to tap into and stumble across things, and the love that we fall in love with people sometimes initially just because, you know, we see them as extremely talented and we admire that and we wonder if we could tap into that ourselves. And then we fall in love on a deeper level more and more as we get to know the person. And then gradually, you know, it becomes a romantic kind of sexual thing. And then sometimes it just dies out after, but sometimes it just keeps slowly building layer upon layer into something that is just so incredibly amazing and rich. I don't mean rich monetarily, although that would be nice, but just this richness of spirit and heart and soul, and I have that. I have that in my life right now with my beautiful friends, and even my friend Jojo popping around yesterday, to see me as they were working in the area. It was just delightful. So grateful, happy, Tanya here. So on that note, I continue with my readings of even date. If I seem a little bit kind of high on a kind of a euphoric bent, it's because I had fuck all sleep last night. Was up all night with my bladder, which is getting very draining, excuse the pun. But it seems to put me into kind of an almost euphoric high vibration. So my spirit's clambering to keep me alive and keep me soul nourished and rich in spirit and rich in heart and love and intention and honor and integrity as well. But it's literally singing. I can feel it singing inside of me, like all through my meridians. So I know that sounds a bit cray, but that's where I'm at now. And so I'm even more grateful to the love that's shown to me by my true friends, and my the few romantic ones that deliberately tune me up a little bit, stir me up. It's been good for me, actually. It's life is short and we never know where we're going to be. As my cleaning lady said, hopefully I will see you next week, inshallah. I said, of course you will see me next week, and I will see you next week. She says, oh, but Tanya, we never know from one day to the next what is going to happen to us. But then again, this has always been true. Long before COVID came along, life has always been a gift, and something that is precious and should be cherished and honoured. And that's why we should have spent all these years, instead of fighting and being ugly to each other and resentful, and me and my deep griefs and traumas, was a waste of my energy. I could have done so much with my life if I hadn't got lost in all that horror, but unfortunately for me, I kept getting slammed by horror on a monotonous regularity. So I got into that soul trap. But I'm climbing out of it now. I'm surrounded by the most beautiful people, and I'm delighting in that. I really am delighting in my beautiful souls around me, and we're all struggling to find meaning and equilibrium after the COVID epoch, and bit by bit we're encouraging each other and lifting each other up and saying, look, here we are, let's make this life wonderful and fabulous and magical and awe-inspiring. And I'm doing it with my crazy videos, even though some of them are very depressing, because I have to go over the old ground and rip open old wounds and leach a bit more and seal it back up, because I'm still healing people. But the time is almost nigh when I can leave all that crap behind me and step into a completely new life with a wonderful man who adores me. And I'll have different things. I'll have different stories to focus on, and different adventures to talk about, and beautiful, romantic, passionate stories that I might keep to myself, but will leach out from time to time as they do. Oh dear goddess, I really am such an oddball. I really am. But anyway, life is beautiful is what I'm trying to say. Life is beautiful. Play your music, create your art, dance, be the best version of yourselves. I'm wearing these earrings, they're costume jewellery, and they're actually vintage from my mother's market stock from many years ago, and they were old when she was trying to sell them. So I'm wearing these, and they look quite cool with my little geometric style dress. So something different. Anyway, so we begin. Let us begin. Memories, 15th of February 2024. Love letters to and from the void. Just lying on my couch with my dog, 15th of February 2019. And look at him. Oh, cuddling up to his mama. I love you, Beauregard. And yes, I need to buy a new shawl. That one's got all runs through it and quite daggy looking. I want to buy a beautiful, like Russian or Polish or Ukrainian embroidered shawl, but they're not cheap, people. But that's my next, that will be my next expense, as I'll try and buy one of those. Because I like embroidered things. Maybe I'll embroider one myself, though. So much bloody work, Tanya. So much bloody work. But anywho, I'll have to think about that, won't I? I'll have to take action soon if I'm going to make it myself, because it'll probably take me a year to make it. Anywho, 15th of February 2023. Another scathing hot day. I spent the day polishing all the brass handles on my step cabinet I bought recently. They came up beautiful. Then I polished my Naga Kanyes on my four-poster bed and my front door, my brass doorbell and the ship's porthole in my entrance. Took me several hours to get everything done. Now my leg, and I need to polish it all again. I've got to buy rust converter from Bunnings and use that to strip all the tarnish off and then give it a good scrub. And I might even, when I clean it thoroughly, paint over it with Protector Clear so I don't have to polish it anymore. It'll be protected. Very tempted to do that. It's such a lot of work and I'm getting old. That's my excuse. I'm getting old. Now my leg, which I injured yesterday, hurts like hell. I was smashing up the hutch that I had put on the verge, which no one wanted, so it was starting to rot. A large piece of timber hit my shin bone and bounced off it. I kept working, so I'm now resting on my couch watching TV. I feel exhausted too. And here's a photo of the step cabinet that I bought for, can you believe it, $50. What a bargain. And I polished up all the brass handles and they came out all beautiful and shiny and look, I just so love it. I so love it. And I store all my jewellery equipment and beads and things on there, and meant to be, you see. When things are meant to be, they flow to you quickly and easily in a way that you can easily afford it, or it's gifted to you. Thank you, multiverses. And the same goes with true love. When the time is right and it's meant to be, that person is drawn to you and they choose you and they honour you and they love you so deeply. And you know it's the one because they show you by their actions in big and small ways. Anyway, life is gorgeous, people. Life is truly gorgeous. As someone who hasn't slept for days, I'm doing pretty good, aren't I? Am I psychotic? Am I delusional? Am I in some fugue state? Possibly. But anyway, just for today, I'm going to rejoice in the true love that I know is mine. And blow kisses out to my beautiful man and hope he catches them. Been thinking about you a lot the last couple of days, my darling. A lot. And it's okay. We're both safe because we can trust each other. And that's also what's beautiful about it too. Someone I can trust with my heart and my loins. Haven't had that before, ever, except for my platonic friend, my brother Jared. But I'm talking about romantic relationship, having someone I can trust with my heart and body and mind. That's a rarity, people. That's a treasure just in that alone. Amazing. 15th of February 2020, 11:11 p.m. And don't get me wrong, we used to flirt something chronic. It was a bit of a joke. It started out as a bit of a joke. So there is still that level of, human vitality and sexuality behind it. But that gentleman has only ever treated me with sweetness and kindness and respect. So even with the quite frisky flirting at times. I was watching that little male bird with Charlie yesterday, and I was anthropomorphizing it, looking at it and thought, yeah, I do that. Yeah, I've done that. Been a bit silly at times. It's delightful. Anyway, I don't know what's come over me. Maybe I'm in a fugue state. Hang on. Oh no, I'm alive, I'm awake. It's all very real, people. I'm not imagining it. Anyway, 15th of February 2020, 11:11 p.m. I stayed home from dancing as I felt overheated and oversensitive with my sore ear. Now I'm lying on my bed, unable to sleep, still processing the recent events. I should probably get up, get dressed and go dancing if I have this much psychic energy, that I have insomnia. It's like living between two worlds or different extremes. But I am better off resting, even if not sleeping, as I don't feel well, so it would be safer to stay home. It's quiet and comfortable. I'm looking forward to Jared coming to visit tomorrow, so I will rest so I have energy to go out with Jared somewhere. Otherwise, if I overdo things, I get hypomanic and drive him nuts, laughing my ass off. And yes, he's such a dear, sweet friend. He even adores me when I'm hypomanic, although I do drive him a bit nuts. Two men at the Showa meeting spent an inordinate amount of time staring into my eyes. I held their gaze and in true Tanya form held my own ground. I hoped they saw what they needed to see and not their own biases and ugly projections. One of them actually stated that I had given him a lot to think about. I nodded with gratitude. In spite of his rather penetrating, hostile stare in the beginning of the meeting, he had truly seen me. Interesting. My angels, as usual, spoke through me and freaked us all out, including myself, as sometimes happens, because let us remember, I was in denial about it for a very long time, but I am a shaman and the hollow bone, so from time to time, especially in crisis situations like that, I will channel either verbally or energetically what needs to be said or what needs to be done. And sometimes it takes me by surprise just as much as the people around me. So I make no apologies for that, because if that happens, it's meant to be. Love letter to Tanya. Love letter to Tanya from Tanya, because nobody does it better or has ever written me a love letter. Dearest Tanya, you astound me with your amazing courage and strength. Every day you get up and fall down and get up again, flogging your long dead zombie carcass, but re-innovating it with your immensely powerful, resurgent heart. You are so powerful in your core that you don't realize how terrifying that truly is to the uninitiated, underwhelmed, ordinary mortals. It's not your fault. In the last rebuilding of your psyche, we gods might have sprinkled a little something extra. Oops, sorry. Every single day of your life is a new beginning. You breathe so much life and love back into yourself, and the excess unfurls in your auric field to bless those who see it or are ready to receive it. Clary's attentions have amped up, and you don't feel comfortable with that. You are not sure if he is in love or sees you as a conquest. Well, we all know, don't we? We all know how that played out. Honestly, this is why I rejoice in having good, kind, honouring men in my life. Because when I've had seedy men like that, not pleasant people. It was a weird week last week, with lots of love energy thrown at you, but you adroitly avoided some of it and surfed the rest with the men you deem safe, as they are gay. You were fantastic. So were they. So much love that does not impede on your tiny, refracted sexuality. Tanya, you have pushed yourself down over heartbreak with false lovers who only came to mock and deride you. They are so sick and perverted, sending even their current lovers to stalk you. That is the power of your love. Even his other partners became, and still seem to become, fucking obsessed with you. You struggle to wonder what motivates these cruel, vile people. I will tell you, envy of your light, envy of your fight, envy of your deep, limitless love that even you don't always comprehend the source as it flows through you and alters your life and the lives of those that merge with yours. Your deep humanity that you struggle to overcome, as most of your life humans have been so sadistic and so debauched. Sorry, we lost it. That you lack any sense of trust in them. You had to learn to trust yourself first and foremost and that is still a work in progress, as you still felt the need to debrief with close friends and your psychiatrist, as under duress you still doubt your own reality. I want to tell you, you are a magical, beautiful, worthy soul. A passionate, alive, aligned with the multiverses woman. Just looking at the postman, I'm waiting for a parcel. Hopefully that's it. And even now, you don't fit in or belong in any human society. Pardon me. And this pains you, but we the gods built you this way for a reason, and you do know that slowly society is playing catch up. You have witnessed it, you have embodied it. Your only failure was loving too much and letting vile creeps convince you that you were worthless, ugly, and deserving only of death. We worked hard to drag you back into this life, this reality, and this exact moment of time, dragging you from the Shadowlands 1,000,000 times. But you grew strong, grew up, grew older. The last 8 months have been an intense struggle, but we are so proud of you, little one. You shine even on the darkest days when you feel too frail and you don't even bother to wash your hair and lie patiently on your bed while we dance invisibly beside you, warming the cockles of your soul, as we know you will get up again and dance. We denied you a love partner for so long, decades. We forgot that it is a struggle for a woman on her own, dependent on the state to put food on her plate. So we sent you earth angels who gifted you what you most need. We blessed them so they can bless you. We know you bless others in ways that are not physical, but spiritual and emotional. And we know if you had money, you would share so much more also. You had to learn that your love is precious, priceless, and how to reclaim it in the face of great evil. Time slips through your fingers in this incarnation, your hands and face wrinkling, your wise, weary eyes twinkling. But this is only this moment in eternity. The greatest love of your life is awaiting you, is, was, always will be with you. The magic, the bliss, the peace and comfort of eternity. Love you, Tanya. You rode through the storms and the horror like a champion. Your time is now. Love from, insert name here. I'm going to comment on my own love letter to my own fucked up self, because the truth remains the truth and I must tell it, if only to myself. This is back in 2020, and that no longer holds true, people. I have finally, painfully, excoriatingly moved on. It took a long time, a long, long time, and still I got haunted by him on 13th of December. But here I write in 2020, I'm still in love with that former lover who trawled his partners in my face, even at drumming last year. It hurts, not because of his actions, which were cruel and callow and a tad pathetic, but because it shows me distinctly that I still had a strong attachment to an abuser, and that, as I know all too well, people never fucking change unless they have a miraculous psychological corrective moment or intervention. And me, loving monsters, has been a life pattern of almost 55 years. And every time I declare out loud that I am done and begin to heal my own heart, he trawls out again. That's the pattern, people. Or worse, some other man or fucked up game player slithers into his ever-widening breach, but not his britches. But I have been up-leveling. I ended friendships in brackets, with women who demonstrated their disrespect for me in January. I confronted old demons on Wednesday night with as much grace and aplomb and humour as I could manage, only to be shunned like a fucking leper as a CSA survivor. It's okay. I am whom I am. They are whom they are, mostly vile. So, where do I go from here? Back on my merry-go-round, going nowhere, but glitching luminously in the matrix. Happy and proud and free. That is how it must continue to be. Fuck the haters. Another thing, you are not confused. You know whom you are now. You have the gods at your back, loving you and pushing you through each of the remaining moments or days of your life. You are valued, if only by the invisible. You always go where angels fear to tread, where your demons don't always resonate with others' demons as they pay lip service to God, but show no real love for that energy. You unmask them with your raw honesty and show them their falsity. Of course they hate you. Most have never bothered to do the work of integrating their shadow. You have suffered long enough. I have no idea how much longer I must endure this sufferance. I've moved from the third person into the first person. But anyway, you get my vibe, babies. But there has been a great and noble beauty too. Enough to get through each and every day. That too has been a miracle and a gift. Ha ha ha. This all reads like grandiose narcissism too. I have learnt well from my former wannabe masters, hack, spit, But no, I am not a narcissist. Every human on this planet has some narcissistic traits. It's how we survive, how we maintain ego identity. But I am not a narcissist. I don't control, manipulate, use, abuse, deceive, cheat on, lie to people. I won't do that to myself, and I won't do it to others. Freedom is my highest value, and love. True, deep, honouring love. And anyone that comes between my truly deep love and also my need for freedom, that does not honour that, doesn't stay in my world for very long. I either send them on their way with a little schmeissy on their tuchus, or they leave of their own free will when they realise they can't destroy me one moment longer, so I simply won't allow it. 15th of February 2019. I had a lovely day yesterday. In the morning, I dropped off a guinea pig cage for Danny, for her pet, spelt Danny wrong, for her pet lizard, Peanut, and gave her some clothes and sewing patterns. I had a lovely time chatting with Lynn, Peter, Danny and Tracy, and baby Cadence, who was Tracy's youngest child. In the afternoon, Jared arrived, and we spent the afternoon and evening sorting my laundry room, as we found an old changing table that made good shelving for my laundry, so I was able to get most of the stuff off the laundry floor and put away. Woohoo! And then we took Bobby, why did you used to call him Bobo Baby? Then we took Bobo and Charlie for a walk. Then in the evening, Jared fixed a plug on my mother's old brass standard lamp, which I had not been able to use for several years, which I've since sold far too cheap, by the way. Oh dear goddess. Oh well, I needed the money at the time. Then we brought my timber lamp and changed the lampshades over, brought in my timber lamp and changed the lampshades over and hung one from the ceiling, which is that one there. Oh my God, it looks so nice. I had almost considered chucking the timber lamp out. I bought this years ago with my inheritance, and my daughter and Jared kept saying how much they hated it, and I said, I don't know why you hate it, it's quite lovely. I liked it. And